You support My Future NC's goal for 2 million North Carolinians to have some sort of credential or certification by 2030. How will the pandemic impact us achieving that goal? And what can we do to stay on track?
Well, I certainly support the work of My Future NC. And this is a goal that is laudable. It is a goal that is fully attainable. And we are very fortunate that we have an amazing university system in this state, both with our public university system as well as our folks in the private colleges and universities, to partner together to help when it comes to post-secondary. These opportunities are there. The investment is there. The commitment is there. What it's going to require is it's going to require us to engage in very smart budgeting to make sure that we can get there in time. Let me tell you what I'm worried about, and it goes back to something I said earlier. I am worried right now because we're talking 2030, so we're talking 10 years down the road. I'm really concerned with some of those kids in these elementary ages right now that for this year and who knows how much this next year are going to fall behind with respect to those basics and the fundamentals, just because of not being in the classroom. And I don't want to overstate that, but I don't want to understate that. For kids to acquire a college degree, it all starts with those initial steps. I mean, you and I have both seen this. Those on this call have seen it. You know, when you were in school and you were in elementary school, and then you got to middle school and high school, you would see kids kind of falling by the wayside. You see a kid, for example, that maybe he's getting in trouble a lot, gets suspended, gets expelled. All that stuff is tied in together, and in making sure that we don't leave kids behind, because we know if those kids cannot get that fundamental education that they need, and that they don't have those building blocks early on, that the likelihood of success later is so limited. And I worry about all aspects of education, but as I've seen a lot of the studies, I've become even more worried about some of those social determinants early on for kids at those young ages. That has been the challenge, I know, that has just dogged us for decades. I just think that we truly have to just prioritize the achievement gap. We have to make sure that we have metrics in place to see what's happening, to see what works. And so one of the things that we've done, and this ties in with My Future NC's goals, is to make sure that we are investing in programs at the early stages that set students up for success later in life. We know as this economy develops, with the economy we're in right now, and the emerging economy on the forefront, that education is going to be absolutely critical, more and more. But at the same time, we have to invest in the trade skills because there's a demand for that. But we know that education is going to be absolutely critical with the developments in technology, and a post-secondary education is more and more becoming not a luxury or a nice thing, but I would say more and more of an absolute necessity. Where you'll see a new major enrollment, and that is really at your community college level, where folks who were in a career or in a job and now are unemployed are looking to go to community college to either learn new skills, to complete maybe some educational foundations that they didn't have before, or to even just acquire more education. That's where we're seeing right now the greatest increase in enrollment and in demand.